So the next part of the diencephalon, that is the hypothalamus. So this part that include that the hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus, it is the part of the diencephalon which lies below to that the thalamus. So you know that the two part, it is the thalamus which bounded the lateral ventricle. So below this part, it is called the hypothalamus. So it forms the floor and the lower part of the lateral wall of the third ventricle. So here you can see that is the third ventricle is present. So it can forming the lateral wall of the third ventricle. Anatomically, hypothalamus, it is very small size, weighing near about only 4 grams, but forming only 0.3 part of the total brain mass. But physiologically, there is hardly any activity in the body that cannot be influenced by the hypothalamus. So the functional significance of the hypothalamus disproportionate to its size. Then the hypothalamus, it should be control the autonomic and endocrine system at the highest level, and it also involve in some effective and emotional behavior. So it is being a principal autonomic center of the brain, it has been regarded as a head ganglion of the autonomic nervous system. Then let's see that is the subdivision of the hypothalamus. So hypothalamus, it should be divided into that the 4 parts. First, that is the preoptic region. So preoptic region adjoining the lamina terminalis. So this one. So this part, it is called the lamina terminalis. Second part, the supraoptic region, which is present above to that the optic chiasma. So here you can see that is the optic chiasma, and above to this part, it is called the supraoptic region. Then the third one, the tuberal region, which include the tuber cinerum, infundibulum and area around it. So here that is the hypophysis cerebri, that is the pituitary gland, and the infundibulum or the stalk of the pituitary gland, it is called the infundibulum, and the base of the infundibulum, it is called the tuber cinerum. Then the mammillary region. So here you can see that is the mammillary body. So that the mammillary region that include the subdivision of the hypothalamus. So the 4 division, that is the preoptic region, then the supraoptic region, then the tuberal region, and fourth, that is the mammillary region. So first, that is the preoptic region. So this one. So the preoptic region lies anterior to the hypothalamus between the optic chiasma and the anterior commissure. So here you can see that is the anterior commissure and this is the optic chiasma. So this part, it is called the preoptic region. Then second one, that is the supraoptic region. So this one. So that should be present above to that the optic chiasma. So this region, it is called the supraoptic region. Third one, that is the tuber cinerum. So this one, or the tuberal region. So it is the region bounded caudally by the mammillary bodies. So here inferiorly it is bounded by the mammillary bodies, and rostrally means superiorly it is bounded by the optic chiasma. So this part, it is called the tuber cinerum. The infundibulum, it connects the posterior lobe of the hypophysis cerebri. So this one, and the tuber cinerum. So in between the tuber cinerum and the hypophysis cerebri, that the stalk, it is called the infundibulum. Then the hypothalamic nuclei. So in the region of the hypothalamus, there is presence the nucleus, means that is the group of cell body of the neuron. So that is called the nucleus present into that the hypothalamus. So the nucleus present into that the hypothalamus, it should be divided into that the 3 part. So first, that is the supraoptic part, means that is above to that the optic chiasma. So there are 3 nucleus are present. First nucleus, here you can see brown color 3 nucleus, that is the paraventricular nucleus. Second nucleus, that is the anterior nucleus, and the third nucleus, that is the supraoptic nucleus. So these 3 nucleus, they are present into the supraoptic region. Then the second area, that is called the tuberal region. So in the tuberal region, there are the 3 nucleus are present. So first nucleus, that is the ventromedial nucleus. Here you can see orange color 3 nucleus. First, ventromedial nucleus. Second, it is the dorsomedial nucleus, and the third one, it is the arcuate or the infundibular nucleus. Then the third region, that is the mammillary region, and it consists of only 2 nucleus. Here blue color you can see. First, that is the posterior nucleus, and the second one, that is the mammillary nucleus. So 3 nucleus that should be present in the region of the hypothalamus. After then, we should have to see, that is the connections of the hypothalamus. So the connections of hypothalamus are numerous and complex. So the important connection related with that the hypothalamus. First, that is the hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract. So it should be forming the supraoptic and the paraventricular nuclei. So here you can see, that is the supraoptic and the paraventricular nuclei. Runs to the pituitary stalk to reach the posterior part of the pituitary gland, means that is the neurohypophysis, and it transport the neurohormones, that is the vasopressin and the oxytocin synthesize. Then the second tract or the second connection, that is from the tuberal nuclei. So this one, which is present into that the tuber cinerum. So that is the axons from the tuberal nuclei enter the region of the median eminence to deliver the neurosecretory material to the hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal system of the blood vessel to control the secretion of the hormones from the anterior pituitary gland. That means the adenohypophysis. Then the third, that is the long axons from the thalamus. These are the thalamus. So passes through the brainstem and the spinal cord, and then it should be enters into that the parasympathetic cells in the lateral horn of S2, S3 and S4 spinal segment to form the hypothalamo-spinal tract. And the last one, that is the mammillothalamic tract. So it connects the mammillary body, here you can see, to the anterior nucleus of the thalamus, which turn projects the cingulate gyrus. So these are the connections of the hypothalamus. After then, we should have to see, that is the functions of the hypothalamus. Let's see, that is the functions of the hypothalamus from this part. So it controls the autonomic nervous system. The anterior part of the hypothalamus controls the parasympathetic nervous system, while the posterior part, it controls the sympathetic nervous system. Then the endocrine control, that is it regulates the hormonal secretion of the anterior pituitary gland by forming the releasing factor or release inhibiting factor, which control the endocrine activities. Then the neurosecretion, so it secretes neurohormones, that is the oxytocin and the vasopressin. Then the next function, it regulates food and the water intake. That means in the lateral part of the hypothalamus, it acts as a hunger center, while the medial part, it acts as a satiety center. This thirst center in the lateral part regulate the water intake. Then the next function, emotional expressions. So it plays the important role in the expression of the autonomic emotions like laughing, crying, sweating, blushing mediated by the integrated activity of the autonomic nervous system and the somatic efferent system. Then the sexual behavior and the reproduction. So it regulates the sexual behavior and the reproduction by influencing the secretion of the gonadotrophic hormone by the pituitary gland. Then the temperature regulation. The anterior portion of the hypothalamus prevent the rise in the body temperature, while the posterior part promotes the heat conservation and heat production. And the last function but not least, that is, it regulates the biological clocks, means regulate the cyclic activities of the body called the circadian rhythm, means that is the sleeping and the waking cycle, which is automatically occurs in our body. The circadian rhythm for many body functions is about occurs in the 24 hours. So these are the functions which is done by the hypothalamus. So the next to that the hypothalamus, let's say that is the subthalamus. So subthalamus, that should be present into that the cerebrum, on the medial side of the cerebrum. So that should be present in the part of the corpus striatum. So here, so the corpus striatum that include, that is the caudate nucleus, that is the thalamus, and this is the lentiform nucleus. So this one, and between this, that is the internal capsule is present. So the subthalamus, it lies between the midbrain and the thalamus and medial to the internal capsule and the globus pallidus. So here you can see that is the global pallidus and this is the internal capsule. So medially to it, that should be present between, that is the thalamus and the midbrain. So this part, that part include, that is the subthalamus. Then it consists of the following: gray matter and the white matter. So the gray matter consists of the cranial end of the red nucleus and the substantia nigra extend to it. Then second is the subthalamic nucleus. So here you can see that is the subthalamic nucleus, and third one, that is the zona incertica. So this one, zona incertica. So that should be present into that the gray matter. Then the white matter, that consists of the cranial end of the Lemninsky lateral to the red nucleus. Then the second one, dendrothalamic tract along with the rubrothalamic fiber. Third one, that is the ansa lenticularis. So this one. Then fasciculus lenticularis. So here on the dorsal side, that should be present the fasciculus lenticularis. And last one, that is the subthalamic fasciculus. So here, that is the subthalamic nucleus is present, and from this, that is the subthalamic fasciculus is start. So let's see, that is the subthalamic nucleus. So it is the biconvex and situated into the dorsolateral to the red nucleus and ventral to that the zona incertica. So here, from its connection, it appears to be important sign for the integration of the number of motor centers. Then the zona incertica. So this one. So it is a thin lamina of the gray matter situated between the thalamus. So here you can see that is the thalamus. So it is located between the thalamus and subthalamic nucleus. So between these two structure, that should be present. Laterally it is continuous with the reticular nucleus of the thalamus, and its functional significance, it is not exactly known. So these are the structure which is present into that the subthalamus.